Hey guys, Coach Dan here. We are going with a back workout today, a pull workout, the first one of the week. So some recent things I've been thinking about surrounding back training, believe it or not, I've been thinking about it, is as far as the back goes, probably one of the more complicated or complex muscle groups to train, potentially, because if you look at the back, sort of the amount of muscles that are there and then making sure we're training them all, and even within those muscles, potentially there are different parts of those muscles that have different sort of functions. So for example, if you think about the traps, which are like the diamond shaped muscle at the top of your back heading in towards the bottom of your skull, kind of fanning out towards the back of your shoulder and then coming back in towards the spine, like they potentially have multiple different purposes. So like shrugging would be the top part, retraction would be that, that kind of middle part, and maybe a combination in between, and then even downward rotation of the scapulars would be another function of those. And then the lats, same idea. They have kind of fibers that come in towards the spine, and then they've got fibers that come down towards your lower back or your hip area. So then it's like, okay, so if we have these different fibers facing in different directions, potentially we need different angles of pulling to train those equally. But then how far do you go? Are you going to do, exercise here and exercise here and exercise here and do everything in between? Or, how many is enough to tick all those boxes? And potentially, do you need so many different exercises? Like if you do a bent over row, is that potentially just smashing your whole upper back enough that doing, 3 exercises where it kind of goes here is not important? Anyway, these are the things that are keeping me up at night, just so you know. Anyway, with that in mind, I kind of choose a couple of exercises for the upper back, a couple of exercises for the lats, and that's where I've gotten to at this stage, and I'm pretty happy with how that's going, so we'll keep with that. And that is all the updates, I believe. Yeah, that's it. We're going well. Let's keep the week going, and we'll go to first exercise. We're going what do they call it? A machine pullover. See you there. Machine pullover. Now, this is an old school machine, but it is very effective, very good. So one of these pullovers, or these kind of pull down variations where we're not sort of pulling, like a row or something like that, is probably the closest we can get to lat isolation, I would say. So the lat being a muscle that, again, pulls your arm down in this direction in towards your spine and stuff like that. So that motion of shoulder extension into this kind of position there, it's kind of doing that job. Often there is no perfect way to isolate it completely on its own, because even doing this motion today is you're going to use a long head of the tricep, and that's what I can often feel. You think all your pulling movements, they'll use the bicep a bit, probably the rear delt's going to be in there as well, but this is probably the closest we can get to isolation. So I'm going to first buckle up. There are lots of different brands and variations of this kind of machine. This is an old school one that seems like it's still doing a really good job. You could do lat prayers with the cable machine, but essentially how this one will work is you kind of push this pedal to bring this forward. We go arms into this position here, pedal comes back, and then we're pulling down into that kind of position there. And then we kind of catch it with the foot thing, let it back nice and easy. So now we're doing that kind of motion. Again, and that's that shoulder extension in close to as isolation as possible. Again, long head of the tricep will get in there, but it's pretty close. I'm going to do a couple sets here to open up the workout, almost as a bit of like pre-fatigue for the lats, just to get them fired up before we go to our rowing movements. And then we will rock and roll. Let's go. Okay, now that we have isolated the lats a little bit with that pullover, they're a little bit fiery. We're now going to go to a single arm compound row, I think this one is called. You can do this both at one time. I fancy doing it one at one time because we can kind of line it up really nicely. So the arm path is going sort of right next to your rib cage. So I can kind of lean to the side, big stretch through the lat, pull it right by the side, stretch right by the side. So with the lat training, if we're thinking about training your lats versus your upper back, usually you want to keep the arm nice and close to the body and kind of have it angle in towards the spine, maybe a slight lean forward. If you see the orientation of the lats, they kind of come from the front of your arm and they fan down in towards your spine and towards your pelvis. So for this lat movement, it's kind of coming more horizontally. For the second lat movement, we're going to come more vertically, so we can train all those fibers equally. So in short, keep the arm nice and close to the body, get this foot in place for a bit of stability, and put it right in that pocket each time. All right, we'll build up and then we'll go set one. That is good, that's good stuff. Next up, we have a neutral grip, a medium neutral grip pull down. So if we just train the lats in this kind of position there, horizontally, and we think about the lats in your back, some of them kind of fan in towards the spine and some kind of come down towards the top of your hip. So potentially it might be worthwhile training both of those separately. So we're going to the ones that are going down now, the fibers that run down. So I'll go neutral grip, not too far outside shoulder width. We can go narrower, but any wider, and then we start to incorporate the upper back. So neutral grip, I've got my straps, we lock in, we tuck under tight so we don't get yanked up and down, big stretch. Think about pulling the arm or the upper arm down into the pockets, into the lower ribs to make sure we are training the lower portion of the lat. So we're here, pull down, not back anymore, and certainly probably shouldn't go too wide with the grip because then the elbow will start to go away from the body and we'll start to incorporate the upper back, which is fine if that's what you're trying to train, but we're lats. So we're in tight and we're pulling down. All right, let's go. Oh, I love it when you call me a little bitch. Oh, I fucking love that shit. It doesn't really matter. Somewhere hard. Eh? What did you do just then? There is no 45.
kg.
Oh, you're in kgs?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a machine. Now all I have in my head is you're a little bitch, you're a little bitch, you're a little bitch. That's all I've got. All right, next up we have an upper back row. So this one's called a low row. So the row that we've done before is horizontal, more latty. This is now coming from low to high, making it more trappy, kind of middle to upper part of your traps. So when you go high, you sort of disadvantage the lat to be able to help you out too much because the lats don't go up, they go horizontally and down. So now we're working more towards the upper back. We've had 2 lat movements. Now we're gonna go a couple upper back movements. So low row, seat nice and high. We go in, we get the handles. We sit back with them. We let the shoulders roll forward over the bench. Pull back, squeeze them together as they angle up. So this one's angling up. The resistance is quite good on this one as well. We're trying to make it nice and trappy. And we'll do, 2 sets, 8 to 12-ish on the rep range. Let's get after it. Oh, fucking.
You sound growling, mate.
I just need you to call me a little bitch, like.
I can see fucking pussy on your face, mate. You're fucking little bitch. No pain. Come on.
All right, next up we've got one more back movement. So if we think about the low row, or upper back should I say, we think about the low row, we came up almost to the point of it's like that shrugging, but not quite. Now we're thinking about coming more horizontally. So we are just, again, ticking all the boxes of the muscle, like your traps, making sure we're using all the fibers that have potentially different jobs. So this is a chest supported row. I use a yoga block in here for range of motion. We'll do an overhand position. So I'll go in, strap in, let the pad and the chest kind of let my shoulders roll forward and stretch out, pull and squeeze. So essentially for a back movement like this, you can kind of do it a couple different ways and train what you want to train just by changing your position and therefore what is being resisted mainly. So for me, we want it to be horizontal-ish. So you think about the traps like this, we're trying to focus on the fibers that are kind of coming in towards the center now. So we've gone up, now we'll go horizontal. All right, let's go.
Feel too heavy for you. Too light.
Nah.
There's actually no pain. Do not like Bicep. Stop being a bitch.
Looking at your guts.
That was interesting though.
This is nice. Hey Hugh, my back feels fucking lit up. Like I feel this warmth. Yeah.
I could go be a fucking bodybuilder and figure.
Oh, I think you are.
Let's go.
Fuck you. I fucking hate your guts. Oh, this is, huh? Oh, this is what training intensity is. Okay, next up we have our bicep isolation work. So this is probably currently my favorite exercise. Got really sore from this last week. So it's a lying dumbbell curl with the elbows supported. I've done this on the bench without elbow support, and I think this is a better variation. It's a bit of a fuck around to get in position, but once you're there, it feels really effective. So we're here, elbows on the back of the on the bench, body out like such, and we're curling like this. So what you'll find in this position is we get a big stretch in the bicep, but not only do we have that big stretch, but when we have that big stretch, we're going up against gravity. So stretch through the bicep, but it's hard as well. So if you were to do a standard curl like such, maybe your arm can get straight, but it's not hard till it starts going up. So here, it's stretched and it's hard at the beginning, which makes it really effective. So give this one a go. I did this last week, my biceps were fucked up. So we're gonna rock it again this week. And yeah, that'll be our bicep exercise for today. Let's find our weight and go for it. Don't laugh at me. Oh.
Let's go. You're actually a little bitch. Let's go. Come on, push. Again. Let me go. Again. Don't be a fucking bitch. Go, push.
I fucking hate you so fucking much, man. Fuck. All right, we finish off with a little bit of rear delt isolation work. So we're going single arm pull across. So I'm essentially going to set it at a height where my arm is kind of coming in towards my chin, stretching the rear delt out. People do things like face pulls for rear delts, but what that doesn't get, it doesn't get the path where you stretch the rear delt out across the body, because it can kind of do this action all the way through here. So if we go face pull, we're only essentially going forward. So height-wise, not certain about this yet, but we'll play around with it to figure it out. I'll brace against the machine, grab the handle, turn away from the machine, and essentially go in line with where I've set the height. So that's quite important to set the correct height. Now I feel like that's going to be pretty good for me. I'll do about 10 to 15 reps per side. And yeah, we're just really trying to cap off the rear delt. It's done work in pretty much every single pulling exercise we've done today, but now we're going to isolate to finish off. So just a little bit of extra work for them. Make sure they go to failure on this last exercise. and then we out. Bit of an anti-climax doing this to finish, isn't it? How hardcore can you be doing something like this? This way. I care more about what's this way. Shut up, you fucking... It's such a little bitch muscle. All right, guys, that's a wrap on the workout. Had a training partner today, excellent. Sometimes that's a good thing to do. I don't always, I actually very rarely train with anyone, but geez, when someone's there watching you and she actually does some things like call me a little bitch and stuff like that, geez, that makes you go to another level. So definitely recommend that. Even if you are like me and you like training by yourself, to do it every so often to check in, like, is my intensity there or have I been fucking bitching it? And it turns out I've been bitching it because, yeah, that was nice. The intensity very high. You know, she knows how to get me jacked up. She just calls me a wuss and stuff like that and a bitch, and it gets me really fired up. So a good training partner, really valuable. So it's a hard thing about a training partner though. Sometimes they are at a different level than you, or it doesn't even matter ability level, but maybe commitment level, and you then rely on them to show up, and that's not a good thing. But the right training partner can be pure gold, and the session today, awesome. So got to push to a really good intensity, and then, you know, hopefully now that I've kind of felt that and seen that, I can continue to push to that intensity and just have her in my head, and maybe, yeah, just check in with training with someone every so often to push to that next level. So excellent stuff there. All right, as always, if you guys like this kind of content, hit this button up here to subscribe. If you want to watch how I train some of the other muscle groups, hit the playlist up here. And as always, it's about progress over perfection. Coach Dan, signing off.